Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and I'm pretty excited about what we're playing today. We are approaching a miracle, as you can see in the thumbnail here. Now, I've featured miracle Sudokus before on the channel where essentially with a handful of rules, kind of normally like an anti-queen, anti-knight rule, you can essentially fill in a grid that almost has zero clues drawn on it, just a couple of digits, and that's all you need to basically solve the entire puzzle with a unique solution, mind you. So it's with a bit of excitement, but also a little bit of fear, if I'm honest, because this is not a rule set I've seen or come across before. So we're going to have to figure this out together, and let's take a look at what we have in store for us today. So we've got an Approachable Miracle by Sumanta. Anu? Not sure I get what the brackets are for, but okay. And let's take a look at the rule set. I just noticed actually a couple of the digits are not entirely viewable for you. So what I'm going to do is just lift this up just a tad. That should be enough. Brilliant. And we've got the following set of rules. So first off, normal Sudoku rules apply. So that's fairly straightforward. That means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and every 3x3 box. It's kind of very scary seeing really nothing on the grid, and somehow this is entirely solvable. Now, place 9 straight and vertical thermometers, each of different lengths in the grid. All the thermometers must start from row 9 of the grid. Bulbs are row 9. So just a quick refresher, and actually I may have to enable the pen letter tool and kind of try and draw this for you. So imagine that this is a thermometer, and I actually happen to do a 9-cell thermometer. What I'm interpreting is that essentially there is a bulb in every single one of these cells in row 9. However, they are of different lengths. So one could be, this is 5 cells, one is 9, one is 6, one is 8, one is 3, etc. And essentially, there is a thermometer in every single one that's pointing upwards. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with thermometer rules, what they mean is, and let's take this 9 one as an example, is just like thermometers do in real life, they'll start with the lowest digit, the coldest temperature, and will rise with digits to get to the highest temperature. Now this is quite convenient because there is a 9-cell thermometer here, so you know that every single cell along the thermometer must increase. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think green was an awful color choice. So now you can probably see the digits on top of that. But the trick is, we're going to have to actually fill in 9 of these thermometers, all of which are vertical. And they're all different in length. Interesting. Now, couple more rules. First off, no 2 9s in the grid see each other diagonally. So this 9, for example, can't see another 9 in its diagonals as such. Obviously, there's normal, can't be in the same row, can't be in the same column, can't be in the same box. But in addition to that, we've got these diagonals, and that's true for every 9. So it's actually very restricted. Think about chess bishop's moves. A 9 here essentially is eliminating all of these as possible 9s. And that can be very powerful. And obviously, the more that you add more 9s on the grid, the more restricted it will be. So we're clearly going to focus on 9s today. Lastly, we have the clues outside the grid are skyscraper rules. So take a look at this one here. It says it's a digit 1. The way to think about skyscraper, let's imagine that there is a, it's just I'm solving the puzzle by explaining this, but essentially, let's try this. This is 3, 4, let me remove all the digits, and then 9. What that means is you can essentially see 3 different buildings. Well, it's meant to be 2, but 3 different buildings if you're looking upwards at them, or you're looking at them, because each one is essentially increasing in height. However, if this is now a 1, I've actually satisfied that clue because I can only see the 3 and the 9. The 1 is essentially that 1-floor building is hidden behind the 3-floor building. Well, I'm going to say we've got our work cut out for us for sure. But I am looking forward to it. If you feel like performing a miracle, link will be in the description down below, as usual, to play along. And with that said, let me restart the clock, clear the screen, and wish me luck. So I'm going to do this. There you go. A digit in under 5 seconds. That's very rare for us on this. I'm going to explain the obvious. With skyscraper rules, you can always see the 9. If it's not the front digit, let's say that's an 8. Regardless of where the 9 is, let's say it's up here. Well, whilst I won't be able to see anything else between the 8 and the 9, I've already broken this puzzle because I can see the 8 and the 9. It's now at 2. So whenever you see a 1 in a skyscraper puzzle, it is definitely the 9 is in that cell. And the same is true for the 2. This, is it? No, hang on. Is it? I'm tempted to say yes because of this weird thermometer rule, which I think we're going to have to think about, probably with a few examples. Because obviously I've shown earlier that this doesn't have to be the case. You can still satisfy this. But as you can see, that's not a valid thermometer anymore. Every single one of these is a thermometer, meaning the digits must increase as we go vertically. So if the 9 is not in the second cell, like in the one we have here, we've broken the puzzle. So in this case, yes, this is definitely a 9. Now, I think the first rule of thermometers is start coloring where you think the 9s cannot be. This is the only way you're really going to be able to solve that puzzle, is basically removing all the 9s from the grid that you cannot place. And this time, do not exclude the diagonals, because this is really the only gift that we've got today to try and actually solve this puzzle. So none of these can be 9s. There's definitely a 9 in here, between these 2 cells. And now it's time for the miracle. I really hope this is not just going to be a 20-minute video of just me staring at the screen and you getting bored. But I'm struggling to think through this without using real examples. So let's do this with some fake ones. So let's assume this is the 9-length thermometer. Yeah. And because it's a length of 9, it's got to be a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I obviously can't place the 8-length thermometer in the same box, but let's assume it's here for a second. Now, because the 1 is gone in row 1, that's actually quite good. It removed the degree of freedom, because I could have said this could be 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7 or 8. And I could have essentially picked random digits from all of them. Not quite random, but as long as they're increasing. But because I've used the 1 on the 9-length thermometer, I've actually removed my degree of freedom. Excuse me. And it needs to be another straight run of digits. And I'm going to assume the next one is exactly the same. 1 and 2 are not available. So it's got to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we're now at 9. So yeah, we've got essentially lots of runs of 1 to 9 or some digit to 9, uninterrupted, no gaps, to be able to complete this puzzle. And then a bunch of random digits at the end. We'll figure that out later. So at least, I mean, I can place another digit in the grid now. Fabulous. That's an 8. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm trying to figure out where the 9s are at the top. That's what really will help me here. Now you see what was previously very helpful with these types of miracle Sudoku puzzles is the anti-knight. So, you know, this 9, for example, would have eliminated both of these cells. Actually, hang on, before I go about anti-knight, here's something that's occurred to me. There's a run. Right, let's try this for size. It doesn't matter which one I pick. Let's say this is a 9. Oh, it will remove the 9s in here. It will remove that 9 in there. It will put a 9 up here. Yeah, okay, so that's not a good example of what I'm trying to illustrate. Let's try a 9 in here. So diagonals removed, that's fine. These two are removed because they're in the same column. Okay. Now let's try this. So I know I need to put 8 and 7. There you go. I've broken the puzzle. So it is actually an anti-knight rule as well. Why is that true? So why is that not a 9? Yeah, obviously, because that would require an 8 and then an 8 again, and then it would be in the same box. So it's sort of an anti-knight, but only in the same like column of boxes, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So if I put a 9 in here, and we already established that there has to be a run of digits, I would have to break the puzzle with 2 8s in the same box. However, frustratingly, it's not really an anti-knight, because if I put a 9 in here, I'm actually going to be totally fine, because these 2 8s are now in different boxes. So it's not exactly an anti-knight, almost. It's sort of an anti-knight in the same column, if that makes sense, in the same column of boxes. Which is useless for this one because, you know, 9, 8, 7 here would be absolutely fine. But I'm sure it does put a lot of restrictions, as we've seen with this example. So whichever one of these is a 9, I'm fairly sure neither of these can be a 9. Because you'll end up duplicating something. The 9 here would be an 8 immediately, and the 9 here would require an 8, and then you've broken the puzzle. So neither of these are 9s, and I'm tempted to say neither is this one, because it will be 9, 8, and then 7, as we've tried in our example, 9, 8, and 7. So up to a knight's move away breaks it. If I put a 9 in here, and there, that's going to be fine, because by the time I get down here, I'm at a 6, and there's no overlap. And it's a very long way of saying that this is not a 9. Neither are these two. And then we have a 9 in here, eliminating 9s from there. 9 here, eliminating 9s from there. 9s here again. Now, that weird anti-knight move means neither of these can be a 9. Again, yep, 9, 8. I've already broken it, 9 and 8, yep. So that's still solid. Now, I think it's not really anti-knight. It's like anti-knight, anti-queen, but again, it's only in the same column of boxes. So this 9, weirdly, sees both of these cells. I can't use it here because of the diagonal, but yeah, that would still break because I've got 2 8s in the boxes. So neither of these are 9s, and I can actually place finally another digit. Thank goodness. Whoops, sorry, that's enough. And now we've got this one as well. Look at that, the diagonal's now helping us. That's the other 9. I'm back to doing a bit of shading, excuse me. Yeah, none of these. Not that one. Not these ones, because of these 2. Incredibly, they see all of these cells. That's another 9. Just actually gonna... This 9. Yep, that's not allowed. That's not allowed. I'm sure there's something disambiguating. What are the 9s I placed recently? That's too far. This one? Yep, 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 yep. None of these. Not that one. That's all the 9s done. 9, 9, 9. And I can lose all the shading, and I can just tap away on my keyboard. Now this will be a nice run of a thermometer. Right. And just Sudoku to finish this. So we've got a 1, a 2, a 1. I guess, yeah, it's quite interesting. It's like as you go up, we lose. So essentially you've got 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 requiring a 1, 2, 3. Then when you go up 1, because obviously of the way the thermometers have been working, we lose the 4, but we still have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So yeah, just keep looking for where to place the 2s, the 3s. Next level up, look for where to place the 1, then the 2, the 3, the 4. Next one, we need a 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, sorry. I don't know what that was. 5. We need a 1 again. It's neither of these, neither of these. It's that one. 2, 3, 4. We need 5, 6. Another 1. I guess that's the last one. 2. Neither. No. No. 3. Placed the 1 already. 2s are neither of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What an extraordinary puzzle. Stunning puzzle. I don't know, I think I got lucky just thinking about miracle and then sort of anti-queen, anti-king. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know if I would have necessarily seen this without kind of deliberately looking for it. I probably would have gone down the route of just trial and error until I actually figured out the rule and then working my way backwards through that. So I don't know. I think it's 1 star if you've seen Miracle Sudoku before. I'm not sure it is a 1-star difficulty rating otherwise. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading your comments. It is a miraculous puzzle. It is phenomenal. I mean, Sumanta, that is a genius setting and rule set to allow us to basically fill it in with just a couple of skyscraper rules. Well, skyscraper clues, and this set of rules. Well, thanks very much for the puzzle, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm really looking forward to reading your comments and see how everybody fared and got on with this. See you back for the next one. Bye for now.